everyone around you is like stressing about homeschool, and you're like, my kid is 3 or younger, or maybe has a developmental delay and is like they're 3 or younger, and you're like, for me, homeschool doesn't even cut it. But you don't want this time to go to waste. You're willing to do whatever it takes for your kid, but you don't have the training. You've come to the right place. My name is Julie Meyer, and I happen to know that you as a parent have powers far greater than any of us therapists or educators can ever have. Keep watching. All right, so I just a moment ago made a video that might have seemed a bit complex when we're talking about younger children, but it leads us to something. First of all, it's something that I hope that will help you keep yourself and your older children occupied if that's something that you need to be doing right now. If you're on your own watching this, now could be your time to write that screenplay you've been wanting to write. So I'm going to link that video at the end of this on story structure because that is basically how we mostly communicate with each other, especially socially. But there is a way we could start priming that with our little ones, and there are 2 things that I'm going to share, one in this video and one in the next video, that are things that we could do with the little ones that even if they're not quite talking or not talking and communicating fluently yet, or if they have some words but aren't really telling stories, or like this, it's applicable for like when you say, what did you do today? Even for kids who have some language, they get frustrated with that question. It might be that they don't have this structure yet that I shared in the last video, and I'll link that video at the end. So another video that I'm going to link is the one on declarative language that tells how to use that. I'm going to actually use the same book, but in a different way. So we talked about, and I'll just share it real quick, that any story tells us about a main character and the problem. And if I could put a printout on this in the comment section for this also. But go back and look at the video where I explain what's going on here, because that's going to help us kind of transform our story time. Maybe bedtime is when we do this with our little ones, to start laying the groundwork for the kind of communication that we want to be hearing with them, from them, with them, together with them, sharing with them. Also, if we tell a story to our children and they're not following, this could be what's happening. So I'm going to give a simple exercise to do with it, and then after this, an even simpler exercise to get it to an even more basic level. But this structure is what we're going to be using as we revisit this book, The Little Engine That Could. This is a story that's familiar to a lot of us. So if you remember, I'm going to link this video as well at the end. That I shared. I'm going to have the video on story structure and the video on declarative language. And so basically we're going to use declarative language to highlight this story. So we're not going to be asking questions. We're not going to be quizzing our children. No, what's that? How many? What color is it? Point to the pig. Or that's interrogative language. We're not going to be quizzing them. We're not going to be asking them any questions. There is a way to ask kind of a declarative question, but if this is new to you, I would say ask no questions, because then it's getting into gray areas. And it's going to be tricky for a lot of us, but if you're not familiar with that, go, I'll link that video at the end as well about the reasons for that. And we're also not going to be giving any commands, imperative language, because a lot of times, and when we look at that video that I'm going to link at the end, when we're spoken to that way with somebody quizzing us or commanding us, we retreat, and that's what our little ones do as well. And you're going to see in that other video, the declarative language video, how we could transform the way that we speak, at least in, we could practice it in story time every day until we feel more confident, and then can start using it in other areas of our lives with our kids. To help them feel more like they're being invited to share their own thoughts, which is really what we want. Real communication is not them saying the correct word all the time. It's them sharing what they're thinking. And then we're going to combine that with the narrative that I just shared in our more recent video. So we're not commanding, we're not quizzing, we're just commenting and highlighting the structure, the problem of this story. And I'm going to do the whole thing here. I might skip some pages, but I'm going to highlight the whole structure of the story. And we could do this with any picture book. Again, if your child is hyperlexic, like they're gonna start looking at the words and start reading the words or naming the letters and ignoring the story itself, I would say, if you can, to try a wordless picture book, and that will help you and your child to focus on the story rather than the literacy, which is important, because being able to read words without understanding what's going on in the story can actually get in our way. So, here I go. Train. Animals. Uh-oh. Everywhere. They went everywhere. Food everywhere. Uh-oh. Train broken. Clown. Elephant. Monkey. Train. Help. No. Another train. Train, help. No. Big train. Help, help. No. Old train. Stop, stop. Please help. No. Sad. So sad. Elephant. Cry. Giraffe. So sad. Blue train. Smile. Nice train. Clown. Train. Help. Yes. Yes. Train, help. Up. Go up. Clown, happy. Yay! Yay! Soldier, yay! Clown, yay! Over the hill. Town. Houses. They made it. They did it. Yay! Now, I'm sure that is not how you normally talk. However, I actually read it faster just because of time and you don't need the pauses, but your child might. And you notice, again, I had short phrases, usually just one word, sometimes two words. At the very end, I put a few words together. But what we want to be doing is, if your child is not speaking a lot of single words, this is a concept from my RDI training. I'll put a link below what that's all about. It's called Edge Plus One. A lot of times parents will say they understand everything, but they say nothing. And I tend to say, of course, as respectfully as I can, because, parents know more about their children than I do in a lot of ways. But I don't understand everything. But what we know for sure the children understand is what they clearly respond to or what they clearly communicate. And if they're not yet saying a lot of single words, we could trust that we need to be giving them 1 or 2 words at a time. That is what we need to be providing. Also, a lot of times there might be an issue of processing time that is not necessarily stuck at this level forever, but we need to meet it where it is in order to improve it. So you could read it the way that I did. You could even skip some pages, just the train stopped, they ask one, they ask another, they ask the third, and yes, they got there. That could be just a handful of pages, even shorter than what I read. But to use short phrases and just one or two words, and then those pauses, especially if you read the same story a few times or frequently, you might get to see some recognition, or maybe even if they're not talking, at least pointing to some of the pictures. It's an opportunity for you to name them. But this is laying for your children the groundwork of story structure, which is really how we often talk to each other, and how we take in information for our own entertainment, like in television shows, books, video shorts, and movies. So I would love to see, if you'd like to join the Facebook group, I'd love to see people's examples of practicing this, or just feedback on how it went for you. So, good luck. Enjoy. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please click like and share with anybody you think can benefit from it. For more videos like this, please subscribe. To request a video on a topic that we haven't covered yet, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll see that. And if I get enough interest, I'll make a new video. Also, you don't have to do this alone. You could join the discussion in our private Facebook group, and the link is in the comment box down below. Or if you're interested in working with me personally, send me a PM on Facebook and we'll make a time to talk. In the meantime, use your powers and take care.